All right. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Legend of the Three Kingdoms. Yes, this is one of my custom D&D games, uh, and the people below me are the people that are all playing, and crazy stuff is happening to them. Um, uh, Quick announcement, but before we get too far into this, um, I, uh, I do have a new series that's going to be starting on my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/trainerjody, same place where you can find all the back episodes of this. Um, and it's basically going to be me turning popular characters from video games and TV, movies, books, whatever, into D&D characters that you could conceivably play in a fifth edition game. So feel free to check that out as soon as the first one goes up. And feel free to tweet me on Twitter or comment on videos and stuff telling me what characters you would like to see in the next episode. So that's called shameless self-promotion. And now let's actually play the game. Um, Fun stuff has been happening to everybody. Um, uh, you guys witnessed something crazy in the town of Dormay in Sanguinius. Got captured by vampires and sentenced to death. Escaped to Fenrish uh, in order to get away from them. Fought some werewolves, which bit one of your compatriots, who now likes their steak a little more on the rare side, and snuck into Valkovia to meet with some contact of preachers. So yeah, most recently you dealt with some kind of covert op guys that happened to unfortunately come across Vala as she was feeling a little bit more wild, let's say. You were able to take them out, scavenge what you could, and are now heading back south towards your rendezvous point. It's been a few hours since the incident. You guys have had enough chance to take a short rest if you wanted to. And now you're all starting to realize that tonight is the full moon, which is going to be Vala's first complete transformation. And you guys are going to have to deal with that somehow. So, as you're wandering, what kind of things are you guys talking about, or are we just ignoring it?
I will defer what we do about that to the werewolf experts, and that is not me. Now, you need a sermon recited. I'm your guy.
In Dwarvish.
Yeah, still a sermon.
Yeah, that's true.
when when in the my neck of the woods, when we know somebody's trying to find a cure, what do we do?
Oh, you know, cures exist.
Okay.
they just happen to be expensive, time-consuming, somewhat dangerous, and require highly trained magic users. Generally, either clerics or druids, from what you remember. But it's not really an arcane thing. It's either nature or divine magic.
Considering where Henri and I come from, we
Would
know which
I be
particular
aware of
temple
any
would be the most.
Hold on. Commander and Lillian, we're both talking simultaneously. So
Right.
if you guys can just reconnect so you guys can hear each other. Speaking of new shows, the next new show will be me fixing Roll20. The show will never end because you can't fix it. All right, can you guys hear each other?
Hello? Hey,
Grandin?
you.
Is he speaking?
Yes.
No.
You should, with Lillian, you should be able to see his face.
No, I don't have video going. I just
Oh,
have
okay.
audio.
Did you refresh, Commander?
No, I reconnected, but I'll refresh.
Try refreshing. Roll20, we love you. But get your shit together, man. Get your shit. Put it in a box. And get it together.
So, I think as far as Vala Raven is concerned, like, her best bet is to try to find a cleric who might be able to do something for her, right? She doesn't really know that much about the Blood Hunters or what's been going on in Fenrish. Just from what she knows, it seems like divine magic would be her best
And you
course of
guys
action.
are about day and a half, 2 days journey from the Temple of the Wise Sage. Commander, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. Luann, can you hear Commander?
Yeah.
Hey.
Right.
Uh,
Now we just wait for the next thing to break.
Yeah. Fix one, fix the
So
other.
yeah, the Temple of the Wise Sage is the closest, and with Valakovia being such a divine focused nation, the most powerful clerics on Triregnum are in Valakovia, and the Wise Sage, god of knowledge, is probably going to be the one with the best chance of knowing the ritual.
Okay. There would be temples to the other gods in that city, though, right?
There are small. Generally, there will be altars that are watched over by a cleric of the Wise Sage. But having a temple, because technically, as much as there is an entire city built around the temple, they treat the entire city as a temple, and so
Okay.
erecting a temple in another god's temple is blasphemous.
Would be frowned upon. But there's like a
an
satellite
altar
office.
to another, just an altar, not bad at all, because that's a way to show reverence to the other deities and things like that. But
Okay.
full-on
have a-
temple, probably not.
I have a question.
Yep.
Those elite soldiers that we took out earlier,
Mhm.
did any of them by chance have manacles on them?
Ooh, yeah.
Good question.
So I know we would have found them when we were burying them, but
Yeah,
I just thought of that.
How about this? Choose even or odd.
Odd.
Always go even.
Yeah, you I rolled a net one.
Oh, never mind.
You were able to find one of them had a single pair of manacles on him, but they're not like traditional manacles that you're used to seeing, big, heavy iron things with a chain. These are made of a much lighter material, possibly like steel instead of iron. And they attach like this. They don't have a chain. So they look to be designed to be much faster use, meant to just bind someone quickly, not to be worn for an extended period of time. So
Okay.
think of them as like fast shackles.
I'll walk up to Commander and be like, oh yeah, I forgot I pulled these off that guy, if that'll help with tonight's situation.
Does it look like there's any chance that I could potentially fix them up a little stronger, or
I mean, steel is stronger and lighter than iron, but the issue is without something to reinforce, they're two circles that click and seal over somebody's wrists. There's not a whole lot you could reinforce, and you could bind around them, but that would be it.
okay? I was just checking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Thinking like zip cuffs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes a little sense now. Okay.
It's kind of what I was thinking.
I mean,
So-
I assume I'm going to be bound and tied
Yes.
Yeah.
several times over tonight.
Yes.
There's
And if not,
also the issue of if you can't break your bindings and they bind you too tightly, you may just break other things like your arms, your muscles.
Trying to get out.
So, and Argenta and Liliane would probably be familiar with that aspect of the change, that especially the first time it happens, you become significantly stronger, but because you're not used to it, your muscle memory will think, hey, I can just use all my strength, and won't realize how badly you can hurt yourself.
Man, if only I had polymorph. Not that that would work, but
Yeah.
how far out are we from the nearest like small town?
hopefully it are.
You're not particularly familiar with this part of Valakovia,
Yeah.
so you don't actually know. You know the Temple of the Wise Sage is about a day and a half, 2 days south. But for the smaller towns, they're you've never been here, and you've never looked at a map of this area that was detailed enough to show them.
How much rope do we have?
I have 50 feet.
I have 50 feet well.
So do I.
I also have 50 feet of rope. There's a lot of rope in this party.
Yeah. I
Because
think it just basically turn her into a mermaid, keep her feet and hands tied to her body, or she can't move them.
that, and
Right.
since I don't
I think-
sleep, I had an idea that maybe suggestion could work if I, tell her to meditate for 8 hours and do nothing.
Yeah, but I don't think she,
Off chance,
I don't think that would actually stick once the transformation starts.
I would do it after. But yeah,
You know what I mean?
I don't know if it will work. Honestly, I'm not an expert on these things.
Yeah, me neither.
There's a definite way to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can
Either it
certainly-
works, it either works and I'm a genius, or it doesn't and I'm rolling a character.
I think we would all be
You
more
weren't
characters.
particularly fond of your character, right?
Nah.
Yeah, right. So, or
I mean,
there's
that's-
we
That's
could
all
find
I
a
got for
tree.
tonight.
We could just find a really thick tree and wrap everything to the tree, even her head, so she doesn't bash her head through.
I don't know. I'm not an expert on werewolves. Don't they get bigger
They get bigger, and you won't know your own strength, so you could injure yourself very easily if we're not careful about this.
So if we spend all of the rope wrapping me up like a burrito, I will just break through all of that rope or die.
Or, yeah,
Or-
break your
explode.
bones.
Or
Guys, make a Play-Doh fun factory.
I don't think you. I'm not
Oh.
sure if you. I'm not sure if you die, but we wouldn't have to worry about you trying to run away for a while.
Or we could tie it till we leave enough slack, but then there's the point of how much slack is enough slack. To where when she grows, it takes up all the slack.
Uh,
I
Yeah.
think it's going to be a
These are
combination
all
of.
good questions.
It's going to be a combination of several.
Would either of them arise though?
Neither of you have ever tried to save someone that's been bit. Like Argenta, if one of your members of your mercenary troop got bit and was going to change, you either killed them or
Let them
sent
wander off.
Yeah, let them wander off.
What we really need is a big cage that I could just be locked into.
Like
If
one of
we
those
knew, like-
jungle gym
like-
things.
Are we
Or-
aware of any traveling circuses?
In Fenris, there's one. Makes its way around, stops in Wild Throne once every 3 or 4 years. You think they might be around Great Hunt right now?
We found a high school librarian, maybe. Lock me up in the book cage. Anyways.
What if we could find her legs? Does anybody have a collar?
Just put her on a lead, put her outside, let her run around and tie herself out. Don't forget
I
to pick
mean-
up after.
I just know I don't want anybody else to die on my account.
I mean, if you bite me, I'll wake up and I'll knock you out. But
I assume nobody is going to be sleeping near me.
No, but we want someone close enough.
Right. Somebody should be awake and watching me.
Yeah.
If only
If I
you had
bite somebody while they're
someone-
sleeping.
Only you had
Maybe
someone who
I'll
didn't
fail.
need to sleep keep watch.
Like a friend.
Friend's such a strong word.
for this,
More of acquaintance.
I had an idea since we have so much rope. Like, I could tie loops around her ankles, her knees, and the middle of her thighs and just kind of connect them in a straight line, but I don't know. It gives slack, but also hold her.
What if we just set up like 100 snares around?
You guys hear Russell, snap.
Do we have like 100 rakes?
Oh, jeez. This isn't Elmer Fudd. Or Bugs Bunny.
Call
The
from
Acme School of Werewolf
Right.
Checking.
Just follow the thuds.
Aside,
Silver Coast.
aside from suggestion, I don't.
Ouch.
Oh, that is pretty mean, actually.
Right?
Are the manacles by any chance silvered?
They aren't. They're steel. Good try. You hold on to them. Interlacing silver into something like that is not a difficult task, you could take him to any blacksmith, and as long as you have the raw silver, they can do it for about 100 silver pieces.
Pay with silver for silver.
Yeah, they use they use most of the silver pieces to put in for the raw silver, and they keep
Okay,
the rest
gotcha.
as payment.
Gotcha.
I mean, I don't suppose we can find a hole around here that they can just throw me in.
Yeah, why don't we just dig like a 30-foot deep
I
hole?
already dug a hole today. I don't feel like it.
Right.
Yeah.
As you guys have been traveling and conversing about this, you start noticing that the sky is starting to get that kind of yellowish tint to it. It's starting to get later. You think you might have an hour, maybe an hour and a half left of before the dusk. And as soon as the moon rises, the change will start.
I mean, aside from just suggestion idea, I'm all out of ideas.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start pulling out rope and trying to think about the best way to tie her in a way that she won't like break everything.
Yeah, oh, but going back before I actually connect,
Mhm.
when I know if any blood like with flows or anything will be moved, kind of like I did with amazing.
Just because your particular sect of blood hunters didn't focus on that, you're somewhat familiar with the ritual to learn to control it and become a blood hunter of whatever that blood hunter is.
Yeah.
So you're slightly familiar with what the ritual entails. You couldn't perform the ritual yourself though, and other than that, you're not aware of one that'll slow down the change or make it less intense.
Yeah, so I was just the wall.
Yeah, I'm just sitting down next to a tree, putting my hands out and my feet out. Like, what do we think's the best way here with me? You want to try hog tying me? Put my arms behind my back, just up against a tree, flat.
After you turn, I'll try my idea and see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking we need, at the very least, I need to be tied up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And perhaps your idea will work, but let's have maybe some blunt weapons on hand.
So I was thinking like
Maybe a muzzle would be a good idea.
put the
Wait. I am going to take everything out of my engineering pack and put that over my head.
Oh my god.
Say, if you guys can find enough bark, you might be able to make a cone.
I
Cone of
think
shame?
I think that would suffocate you. I'd just take it off her head. Instead, I put the manacles on her. I put bags over her hands, and then I reinforce the manacles so that she has these huge bags over her hands, so that when she grows claws, it'll be like
You
it'll be
do
like
it in front of her or behind her.
behind because she'll have teeth. So
I had an excellent idea, but that wouldn't work. For a moment, I was going to suggest that Henri cast fly on me and just make me float above everyone out of reach.
I mean,
And I
that's
would probably be able to control that eventually.
that would be a great idea for 10 minutes.
Let's see, how high were you when you fell and almost went unconscious?
60 feet.
Hmm.
I remember the 66 rolling well.
and then I take another rope and I tie it to one of to her ankles, and then tie them to a thick tree.
Go ahead and make me just dexterity checks. One for her hands, one for her feet.
Can I assist that?
Not really. Helping someone tie yourself up is remarkably difficult.
I already said that I would help you.
Okay, so you can have advantage on both of those.
That the first one's a 14 and the second one is an 18.
Okay. You think you've tied her very well. So you got her feet tied, you've got her hands shackled and tied and bagged. As you guys look up, you can see the sky is now a deep red bordering on purple. You think you probably have about 20, 30 minutes or so before the twilight that you're in turns to nighttime.
I am going to use create bonfire to create a small fire near me, and I will start focusing on that. And
unfortunately, you can't cast with your hands shackled, tied, and bagged.
these are good points.
I mean, I could make an illusionary bonfire. But I
Damn
don't
it,
know.
no one make real fire except me.
I put a torch in the ground like 5 feet and I light it.
Thank you. And I will focus on the torch then and start praying to the Dark Lady.
You guys do realize you can make a real bonfire, right? Like you're
Yeah.
surrounded by trees.
I realize this. This is just quicker.
Magic. A bonfire takes some time to make, though.
No, it's fine. Whatever floats your boat, man.
I was rolling those rolls normally, by the way, because I'm still exhausted. But thank you for canceling out the disadvantage. Yeah. So, I just kind of take a third rope if you'll help me, and to help distract her when she's like this, I tie her knees on both sides with just like a rope in between so that they're slack, so that if she tries to break loose, it'll tighten at a point.
Okay, go ahead and make me another check. This one with disadvantage, since that's a little more advanced. Just tying knots.
I rolled a 16 and a 19, so 18.
Not bad. So you think that worked well as well?
While they're doing this, can I just kind of be on the lookout, see if anyone's watching us?
Sure, make me a perception check.
Jeez. I think, yeah, that's a total. Oh, I'm proficient in it, so that's a 6.
Okay. You're relatively certain that no one you can see is watching.
We're good.
Well,
Now that you've said that,
I always feel like somebody's watching.
okay.
aside from a muzzle, I don't know if there's too much more we can do.
Just pray my idea works.
And as the sun finishes setting, you hear movement in the trees from the other direction to where Vala is tied, and you see 4 people moving your way. You can see them kind of waving. We saw your fire. Figured it'd be better if we all kind of stayed together for the night. These woods aren't the greatest. What are you doing to your friend there?
It's kind of a game we play.
Do I see the signs of like pistols on them at all?
No. You go and roll me a perception check.
Oh boy.
Or rather, what's your passive perception?
Well, I rolled a natural 20, but my passive perception is
that'll
16.
work fine then. Looking at them, these are very obvious to you. Some sort of day laborers, maybe farmers, something like that. They're not carrying any utensils with them, but they've got calloused hands, and they've got some their clothes are worn in that. Like, these are obviously people that work for a living.
How many did you say there were?
Four.
Aside from the one who's talking, what do the others look like?
All kind of plain clothes in general. They all have cloaks on, that have a fur lining on them. They seem to be just there for warmth more than anything else. It's 3 men and a woman. And just from a quick glance, you don't see any weapons on them. Other than one of them has a light crossbow strapped to their pack, but it's unstrung, and you don't see a bolt box anywhere on them.
I will turn my back, cast message to Argenta, and say we probably need to get them out of here unless we want innocence on our hands.
Yeah. So Argenta just kind of grins and stands up, and she's just like, "Now, look, she's not our friend. We're taking her to the Temple of the White Sage. They've been looking for this one for a while. She runs away a lot, so we have to keep her down."
Oh, really?
Yes.
Exactly.
Listen.
What has she done to the clerics of the White Sage that they want her captured? They don't tend to put out
No.
bounties or anything like that.
I just kind of put my hand on his shoulder and I lean down and just like, for your and your friend's sake, you need to know you didn't see us. And I kind of slip him 5 gold. You
All right, go ahead and make a persuasion
okay?
roll.
That's going to be a. What's this? 16.
So he sits there. He looks at the how much gold did you put in, by the way?
5 gold.
Okay. So he looks at the gold pieces in his hand, and he looks up at you, and he turns his hand, and the gold just drops on the floor. He says,
I would like.
"Who do you think I am? What are you doing to this poor young woman that you're tying her up and putting back? You are slavers. That's what you
I
are."
would like to
kinda-
take this moment to start like crying out, like, yeah. I mean, all I did was draw a big dick on the white sage. I don't know what the big deal was.
And you see him turn. The guy behind him, "Philip, get your bow out. We're not letting these brigands hurt this young woman. And you see them just pulling, like, one of them just reaches down and picks up a stick on the ground. Another one just kind of balls his fists up. Looks like he's getting ready to just punch you.
I look up at the sky. How do I see the moon yet?
Not quite yet, but you're thinking within minutes, maybe seconds here.
Can I say to the female that's with them, it's like, I think we should get out of here. This isn't a fight for us.
You
Like, I'm not a fighter. I'm a holy man. This isn't for me.
you let these brigands hurt this poor woman? You, sir, are not a man of the gods, and do not touch me. And she slaps you across the face.
I cast suggestion and say, you really need to follow me for the next few hours.
What's your spell save, DC?
I believe 16. It is.
So I have to ask what skill it was, but I got a 9, so it doesn't matter. She kind of looks at you. She backhands you, and then you sit there, and her eyes grow a little soft. She's like, I should probably follow you.
And I'll just start walking her away. Just in a direction away from all of this.
You know, after you get past the kind of foreboding cloak and just the fuck you attitude and stance, you really are quite a nice man, aren't you?
I try.
I will take this moment to shout out. So what if I dyed the high priest's robes pink? I thought they looked very cute.
Oh, I do love pink. It's a lovely color. Is that what she's being yelled at for? Is she turned?
Okay, I pull my gun out. And said, "Listen, you need to leave now."
Go ahead and make an intimidation check.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna make it with disadvantage because they're already kind of riled up.
You would do that, wouldn't you?
Pissed them off
Oh.
by trying to bribe them.
14 and a natural 20. So okay. Intimidation is 18.
Okay. So the guy with fist starts backing down a little bit, and he goes, "James, maybe we should get out of here. I mean, obviously he's a gunslinger. He must be working for. Maybe we should go." "No, we're not letting these brigands. He probably stole the gun. That means it's our civic duty to slay him where he stands."
I raise my gun, pointing it to him. You really don't.
And
wanna
as you do that, shaft of moonlight falls on the ground,
Fuck.
going right over Vala's arm.
The moment that. Go ahead.
As the shaft of moonlight hits you, you suddenly start feeling strange. You start noticing you can smell the campfire, but not just the torch itself that's burning. You can smell the oil. You can smell the wood of the torch. You can smell kind of the leaves on the ground and the dirt and Argenta, and maybe she needs to bathe a little more often.
My poor dress.
And suddenly it's almost like you've been traveling with your eyes closed, and they're now open. You're so much more aware of your surroundings. You can hear things you couldn't before. The rattling of insects walking across branches, small rodents and creatures and critters in the forest. You can actually taste the humidity in the air, and then you start feeling sick to your stomach for a moment, and the pain get deeper and deeper. And suddenly you just hunch over. You can feel your face feels strange. It's itching. At first, it's just an annoyance, but it gets worse and worse. And you're trying to scratch your nose, but you have these bags on your hand, and it's not helping. And suddenly, as you're even through the bag, you can feel your face getting furrier, and then you hear this kind of crunching sound as your teeth just jut forward with your nose, and they elongate into a snout. You hear more kind of crunching and grinding as your bones start rearranging themselves and getting bigger and bigger. You feel pressure on your wrists as the manacles get tighter and tighter, and then you feel this popping sensation around your wrists, and suddenly they don't feel quite as tight anymore. The metal's not cutting into your wrists anymore. However, the ropes are still there because they have more give than metal.
Right.
So I kind of look at them. I look at Vala where the bone crunching is going, and I'm just like, now you need to just shut up.
Philip, the one with the fists, has kind of just lost at this point, and he comes just rushing towards you, swinging a fist at you. Well, that's a 19.
I mean, that'll hit.
Okay, you take a whopping 2 damage as he clocks you right in the nose.
So at this point, Argenta's just like, I'm not gonna kill you, but and then you see the veins start to bulge as I rage,
You
and I
do feel some dampness on your lip.
I lick the blood off, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna kill you, but and then the veins start to bulge as I rage, and I do a return strike.
Okay, are you punching? Are you using a weapon?
I'm punching
Okay.
recklessly.
Okay.
It's going to be a with a punch. That's like a 21 to hit.
Yeah, you sit there and just uppercut this guy, lift him off his feet. He flies back about 3 feet, lands on his back, and you just hear this a very familiar sound. You know he's had the wind knocked out of him.
Okay. And then I look at the others in my rage, and I'm just like, anyone else?
Lillian, roll me a dex save.
You're muted, by the way.
Okay, 14.
Okay. So you're just sitting there kind of focusing on what's happening to Argenta. And you hear this sound, and you tilt yourself away and get nicked as a crossbow bolt goes and just kind of grazes your chin. You take 1 point of piercing damage as you see the third person who is vainly trying to string his crossbow, but it loaded a bolt into it before it was strung, which you never want to do.
Yeah.
And as he was trying to string it, he accidentally shot the bolt at you, and he just looks stone white now.
Don't kill them. They're like children.
I think I'll break my Bring it properly.
You would probably travel with it strung, loose but strung.
Yeah. I did what I keep my head. That would have been sense. I pointed at it. I don't point it, but I pointed at him.
Okay, go ahead and roll an intimidation check.
12.
All right, so sitting there, he seems to kind of be contemplating whether he should try to continue restringing his bow or if he should get out of there. But he's just stopped midway through that thought process and just looking at you deer in the headlights. However, as that's happening, Vala, for the time being, we're going to increase your strength score to 18,
Ooh, okay.
your constitution to 16, as well as your dexterity to 16.
My dexterity is currently 17, so would it
Okay.
go down?
Nope.
or-
You'll leave it then.
Okay.
With that, go ahead and make a strength athletics check with advantage. And you can treat it as if you're trained in athletics if you're not.
That would be 20.
Okay. So, Argent and Lillian, as you guys are dealing with this, you hear this rip, and this
Whoa.
loud, heavy breathing. And as you look over your shoulders, Vala has ripped the ropes in half around her hands, and is now tearing off the bags on her hands. And you see these long claws with shreds of the bags on them.
So Argenta's just like, shit. And
I'd like everyone to roll initiative for me.
Oh, great.
Do you want me to as well, since I was probably long gone?
You wouldn't have had enough time to get too far away, so you're probably within a turn or two of being near them. So yeah, go ahead and roll initiative.
Alrighty.
Question: are we still 6th level, or do we ever level up? I can't remember.
I think you're still sixth,
I think we're still 6.
unless
Okay.
somebody has a level 7 character.
No,
Um,
I haven't.
I will also point out that I am somewhat still filled with bullet holes because I did not take advantage of a short rest.
Oh. Does that affect your hit points?
So I'm looking somewhat rough,
yeah.
unless the transformation made me less rough.
Uh,
Rough.
technically, you gain hit points because of your increased con.
My con was 16 before.
Oh. You normally would get increased hit points. You have really high stats. Damn.
Oh, my strength was 10.
Well, Argento.
Jumped. Jeez.
Mine is a 10.
Vala.
Oh, sorry. 16.
And yeah, you kind of have the same holes since they were silver bullets they shot you with. If they weren't, you would probably get rid of a large portion of damage. Lillian,
11.
Henri,
22.
damn, Commander.
17.
All right, so Henri, you hear the very recognizable sound of a howl, and you realize you're roughly about 200, 300 feet from where they were, but it's dark, and you're in a slightly heavier wooded area than you have been in, so you can see some of the torchlight from the bonfire, but are far enough away that you can't see too much that's happening.
Mentally, I'm going to say, where do I bring her? And then I'm going to go in that direction. And I'll tell her it's not safe. We got to get out of here.
Okay. It takes about 3-4 seconds, but you get a direction to go in that is the opposite direction. Like the campus to the south, you're going to the northeast.
Okay, I'll start going in that direction.
Okay. That brings us to Commander.
Pretty sure I had silver rounds loaded, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
I would say that would make sense.
okay. Let's see. I will turn to the. Hmm. I'll turn to the farmers and I will say, "Speak nothing of this that you've seen. Leave now and save your life." And I'll turn back and go and start trying to help Argenta do anything I can.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. I'll let you choose persuasion or intimidation.
Well, oh, okay. Well, I'll take the highest I can get, so that's a 9.
Okay. They don't seem to be listening to you. They seem focused on the girl that has just changed into a bloodthirsty monster.
Okay.
And then you run over to Argenta.
Yeah.
Okay. Vala,
Yes,
you are hungry.
I'm
Your
hungry.
legs, knees, and ankles hurt because there are tight ropes wrapped around them, but you didn't grow quite enough to actually break them. So they're kind of cutting into your legs, and they're uncomfortable. And there are 3 very appetizing meals right next to you, and 2 more that are about 15 feet away.
Is one of those appetizing meals a bag of meat?
Actually, they all are.
Ooh,
One of them is a bag of meat that's kind of wrapped in leather with a long sword. Another one is a bag of meat wrapped in what armor do you wear, Commander?
Leather.
Leather. Another one wrapped in leather, but it's got kind of a smoky smell to it, almost gunpowdery. And then the third one might have gone rancid. You're not sure, or it's just like really good. Like maybe it's got just some really good cheese.
It's called
Mixed
ape,
in.
sir.
I do like smoky. Can I spend the turn trying to break free of my restraints?
You
Like
can.
Okay.
Have you make an attack roll. You use your strength plus your proficiency.
That's just not fair. 20.
Yeah, you shred them. And the unique thing, your claws don't really dig into you because they're not magical. So you could actually just go to town and start biting your leg in that, and it's fine. Your skin seems to repel it. And yeah, you're no longer in pain. You also can now move. Add 15 feet to your movement speed.
Okay. But I assume I am prone right now.
You are not. You were standing when you changed, and you got all that. So you are upright.
Oh, that's great.
So-
I will.
What target do you want to go for?
I don't want to go for the rancid one because that just doesn't seem very appetizing.
Okay. It's either
this-
really good cheese or really bad meat.
Yeah, I don't know about my palate, so I'm just gonna go not for the smoky one, just the regular, I think. And I'm just gonna move up to it since I already used my attack.
Okay. So you go right up to which one? The smoky one?
Not the smoky one.
not
I'm
the
going to
smoky-
leave
okay.
that one for later.
So the more fresh one,
Yes,
kind
the
of
fresh
the
one.
filet mignon of.
Yes, that one.
Gotcha. All right, so that's Vala's turn. The people, seeing all this happening, have got this idea that they're going to help. So one of them runs up with that stick
No.
and just slams it on your head. And you're slightly rattled at first, but it's more annoying than anything else. And the second one comes over and just pow, pow, 2 punches straight to your snout.
Oh boy.
Does nothing. When that happens, the one that punched you, he's shaking his fist and he just kind of steps back out of the way. I would like you to make an opportunity attack.
Oh,
You can't
I mean,
help
I
yourself. Your food has come to you.
I saved one of them. I knocked one of them out. But
where's my Will Wheaton dice when I need it?
Oh yeah, one of them. So the punch guy didn't punch you, but the one with the stick stepped back.
19.
Yeah, you take a big old bite.
We were worried about them dying. I guess not anymore.
And as you bite, you feel the warm splash of blood as you bite into them, and suddenly as you're chewing, you feel the body start to heat up slightly, and you don't know why, but you get the idea that you can't eat this now,
oh dear.
Okay.
and you kind of step back, face covered in blood.
Mmm. Warm blood.
That brings us to Lillian. You just saw one of them get bit, and then she let it go. And you've seen this happen enough to know the one on the floor is infected now.
I pick up my sword and I'll swing at my chest. Swing it back off.
So I'm sorry, you're doing what?
I've been happy about my sword.
Okay, make your attack roll.
Who did she move up to?
She moved up to Lillian.
Oh, okay.
That would be an 18.
Okay, Val, is that you hit your armor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my armor class is 13 because I also took off my armor.
Oh.
'Cause it was hot.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And I don't have my weight right now.
Okay. So you
So-
roll damage.
That would be 11 plus. Yeah.
I had 11 hit points.
Okay.
At start.
Lillian, as you see her chomp down on that person, and then come over, and she looks like she's about ready to attack you. You just bring your sword out, cut her across the chest, and you watch her eyes roll back into her head. She hits the ground. You could see a pool of blood forming beneath her. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
I'll just keep my eye on the window for now.
That brings us to Argenta.
I'm just gonna run up to rage. I'm not even caring about keeping it up. I'm just gonna run up to Vala and try and stabilize her.
Okay,
Real
go ahead and roll a. I'm gonna
medicine.
say since you're raging,
Yeah.
you'll have disadvantage on the stabilizing
I've
roll.
been rolling disadvantage all night because I have 2 levels of exhaustion.
Oh
So,
yeah, that makes
uh,
sense.
that is a medicine. But I rolled a 17 and a 19. So
Wow. So you're looking for 10.
yeah.
So you are able to bind her wounds, and she seems stable for the time being. But just something strange is happening as you bind the wounds. Her blood is boiling, like it's actually as it hits the ground, it's bubbling, which you've never seen that before. And it is hot to the touch. Like you actually, it's just barely below what would burn your hands.
And then I kind of glance at the one on the ground, and I'm just like, damn it.
All right, is that the end of your turn?
Yep.
All right, Henri, you and I will have a conversation about what happens next here.
Yep.
But he's effectively gone, and may return someday. Commander,
How close am I to?
you're right next to Argenta, so you're about 5-10 feet away from where Vala's lying, boiling in her own blood.
Okay. I really have no idea what to do here. Is it pretty obvious that the other guy, the one that was bit, is he pretty much obviously infected?
Because of the full moon, he's already starting to change.
Okay, we're taking care of that right now. I take out my rapier and go to town.
Okay. Make 2 attacks with advantage.
First one is a 17.
Okay.
Second one is a natural 20.
Okay.
Let's
So
see.
between the 2 attacks, you sit there and you stab it through the throat first, so you can hear it gargling. You stab it through the heart, and then you finish it off by just jamming your foot on the windpipe to just ensure that it's not getting up.
Okay.
And it stops moving, and the change reverts back, and it is a dead person.
Okay.
At this point, Vala, yeah, roll me a death save. But this is going to be slightly different. It's not a death save, but works the same way.
Ooh. So just a straight 20, right?
Yep.
No.
D20. You're looking for 10 or higher.
That is an 8.
Okay. You can feel the ground around you kind of bubbling. You can feel your insides burning, but you can't get up. You're kind of going in and out of consciousness. The guy with the crossbow just watched watch the commander murderize his friend after it got basically eaten alive by Vala. He's booked it. His friend, who was knocked out, is coming to, sees his other friend dead, his ranged friend booking it, and faints.
Probably for the best.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Lillian. Anything else you want to do? She seems stable, but she's really hot. like she's radiating heat.
Let's see, I will try and I think you try it out with the character power.
Okay,
I mean, I don't know what.
go ahead and roll me a nature check.
Good team.
Okay, so having dealt with werewolves before, you know that during the first change, especially in the first few minutes of it, werewolves have this annoying habit of dying and then not. So despite the fact that she looks stable right now, you're relatively certain she could spring back up at any moment.
Uh,
So that was your action to figure that out.
I,
Anything else you want to do?
yeah, I will tell him that she may work down, but be ready for come back. We may want to buy again, try to,
Okay.
for whatever you do.
And anything else?
No.
Okay. Argenta.
I just kind of sit down on Vala and put a hand on her throat to hold her head down and be like, okay, I'll be ready.
Okay. Put a hand near her mouth. It's a great idea. Commander.
I'll grab my rope of my pack and hand it to Argenta for whenever she's ready.
Okay. Vala, give me another death save.
Oh, I don't know if it's good or not. 16.
Okay. You sit there, your eyes spring open, you regain 12 hit points, are conscious, and there is food right next to your mouth.
Yum.
So I'll have you go ahead and make me a strength attack roll.
Yeah, I'm just grappling her to keep her prone is essentially what I did with my turn.
Okay.
Would I be at disadvantage because I'm being grappled?
Because she is literally on you and you just have to reach down to bite, no. It's just a straight roll.
It's 24.
Yeah, that she'll bite in my arm, yeah.
Okay, Argenta, I need a con save.
That is a +7, so 22.
Yeah, you feel kind of the burning sensation as she bites into you, but you just shake off the diseased saliva. And she is on your arm and she's not letting go.
Okay.
So Lilian, Vala is awake and having breakfast.
When I saw Valentine I tried to pull the arrangement when it went enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take the pommel of my sword and hit Vala across the muzzle to try and break his grip on
Okay.
the arm.
Go ahead and make. Go call this a strength athletics versus. I'm gonna have you make a just a straight up con save, Vala.
Okay.
18.
Okay.
Ooh. 17.
All right. So Vala, you feel this impact on your snout and on your face as Leland is just sitting there going, no, 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 drop it. And she just keeps hitting you repeatedly with her sword. You do take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as she breaks your snout. And you have no choice but to let go of your death grip on Argenta.
So, yeah.
As,
That's okay.
as that happens, Lilian's anything else you want to do?
I try it out and that to see whatever, but yeah, all the bite way, but immediate bite way, but
Argenta.
I pull the silver dagger off of my belt, switch it to the pommel, and I'm just gonna bap her twice and be like, "Bad." So the first one is I rolled an. This is no, it's a straight roll. So 18
Yeah.
plus
She
5.
is prone, so.
So 18 plus 5, I think that hits.
Yeah.
Sala.
Go ahead and roll a d4.
So the first attack you take 5 damage, and then second attack is a natural 20, where you take 4,
Yeah,
6,
got 2.
8.
So as you sit there and you bop him once, again, you chip a tooth, and then you come around and stronger than you were expecting, you just smack her right in the temple, and she goes unconscious again.
That's gonna
Because of
nice.
you waking up and going back down, you do have one failed death save.
Okay.
And anything else?
No, I'm just gonna look over at Commander and just like, you tie her up.
Commander.
Me? Oh,
Yeah, she's unconscious again, bleeding out from her teeth this time. It's hard to tell where Argenta's blood stops and Vala's begins at this point.
The steam and the bubbling.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
well, heat dissipates through liquids pretty easily, so.
she's laying just flat on the ground.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, Argenta
Vala.
folded her up into a swan shape.
Oh, that makes things easier. Okay, cool. No, okay, I want to try and get the ropes around her arms and tie her arms to her body.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's a
Kind of
possibility
like
to
bear
do
hug kind
with
of
her.
thing.
Yeah, where she's hugging herself. Give herself a nice hug.
Okay.
Uh,
You can do that. I'll just have you make me a dex check, just to see how good you are with because she's already grown, so you don't have to worry about
Yeah.
her growing anymore.
Okay. It's not bad. 20, not natural.
Okay, so you basically cross her arms in front of her, and then wrap around, and get it pretty tight. Like you're happy with it. Any
Okay.
anything else you want to do?
No, I have 50 feet, so I used all 50 as much as I could. So
Okay. That brings us to Vala. I need a death save.
16.
Okay, one's saved. Lillian, she's bleeding out, but she looks tied.
I could try to stabilize it.
Okay, make me a believe it's a survival check. I'll say since she's bound already, you can have advantage on it.
Survival, not medicine.
Medicine, sorry, medicine.
21.
All right. It does it. She seems stable. We can go out of it initiative for the time being. As she kind of wrestles it against the bindings, her claws are turned in on herself, and she can't pierce her own skin with them. So she's pretty effectively immobilized. She does try to get up and slash at you guys with her claws, her feet claws, from time to time. But you guys are able to kind of deal with that. However, an hour passes. No Henri. 2 hours. 3 hours. You guys are trying to get cat naps in as you watch over Vala. Vala is biting at you guys and trying to claw you and everything possible to hurt you. Eventually, the other guy starts to wake up, gets one look at Vala, and passes out again. And you guys make it through the night. You get the effects of a long rest. Other than Argenta, you don't lower your exhaustion level.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a great rest. As the sun comes up, Vala, you change back. And when you wake up in the morning, there's all this rope around your shoulders, and you're hugging yourself. Your clothing is ripped and shredded in places, and your face hurts something fierce.
So, 2 questions. 1, do I remember any of that?
None of it.
Okay. 2, do I get a long rest?
Yeah. You slept very happily hugging yourself. You didn't have to watch people to make sure that they weren't going to eat you.
Oh, well, this is I don't
Shut
remember
up.
being tied up like
Shut
this. What happened?
Just no, don't.
You see, Argenta's got this wicked-looking bite mark on her arm, and you see a corpse on the ground about 10 feet away.
Did I do that?
You tried to make another of you, yes.
Was I successful?
Almost. We stopped it.
Has Henri came back yet?
As you guys are having these conversations, you hear crunching in the underbrush, and Henri is walking towards the camp.
Oh, hey, look, Night Watch came back. What do you know?
It was a lot farther than I thought.
Oh yeah, what was it? Halfway to
Where
the
do you
Temple of the
want
White Sage
to
or something.
What was that? Sorry, you were both talking.
Oh, sorry. I can't hear Lillian, by the way.
And where do you want to?
I escorted that lady as far as I can, met up with the caravan, and sent her on her way. It was a lot farther than I thought, though.
Can I hear something?
Sure. Why don't both you guys whisper me your roles? Henri, just roll a d20 and what's both your persuasion and your deception. Okay, that works fine. And then Lillian, just go ahead and whisper me your insight check. Okay. I will whisper you the results.
So what exactly happened?
Hey guys, don't
So-
forget about Luke.
Vala turned, which I'm sure you figured out.
Real quick, how about everybody just refresh because we're having
Okay.
issues with people can't hear each other.
Alright. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
Commander, did you hear Henri?
Yes, I heard Henri.
Does everyone hear Commander?
Yeah.
Yes.
I do not.
I love
I'll-
you. Roll 20. We're
I'll
almost
just-
done for the night, so I'll
Okay.
translate for everybody.
Oh, I can hear him now.
Oh, cool. Everything's good.
Hello.
What was I gonna say?
Rachel 20.
So, yeah, Commander, you had something you were saying, right?
No, I didn't.
It was me. I
Oh,
was
our
just saying.
Sorry.
So Vala turned. The trio of mediocrity decided to try and help. This one got bit, started turning. Commander put him down. We dealt with Vala. The one that was shooting arrows ran away though, and the punchy one is passed out like 5 times over the course of the night.
Is he's still there, right?
Yeah, he's starting to move a little bit. You think he may wake up soon? But
I'm gonna go. I'm going into my pack. I'm going into my pack. I'm pulling out 100 gold,
Okay.
and I'm going over to him. I'm gonna try to gently wake him up.
All right. You have to step over the corpse of the other
Oh.
one to get to him.
I'll give it a very wide berth.
Okay. So you get there and he starts waking up. He's like, "Did we
Yes.
save you?"
Thank you very much for what you tried to do. I'm very sorry for your friend.
Well,
Does he have any family around here?
What are you talking about? Oh, don't. And he kind of looks around. He's like, oh, shite.
Don't.
And you. Oh, the gods have cursed you. The gods
Yes.
have cursed. And you deserve to die.
I do. And unfortunately, you're not going to be the one to do that. Does this man have family around here?
Don't you even try that. You don't deserve to know that. You don't deserve to speak his name. You find some place and you go die. And he kind of gets up and runs off in the forest.
I'll go over to the body and I'll leave the 100 gold next to it. And then I'll just start packing up my things.
Okay. So Henri walks in at or Henri's been there for a little bit after Vala did that.
He's right, you know.
Argenta.
Maybe I'm more trouble than I'm worth right now.
We don't know that yet.
Do any of you have like a writing utensil of some sort?
Does a priest pack have a writing utensil?
It does, I think.
All right. Well, then I'll just pull it out. Save time.
I'll take it. I'll take like a little sliver of paper. Right. He was turning into a werewolf. Slip it into his pocket. Hand the writing utensil back to Henri.
Anything else you guys want to do before breaking camp?
Nope. All Argenta does is she's like, Death, I know you're watching. How did we do?
No
I'll just help
sound.
Vala.
Okay.
I'll help Vala pack up.
You guys also notice, generally when you would make camp, within normally about 20, 30 minutes of you guys making camp, Preacher and the Angel of Death would show up. They didn't show up at all last night.
They kept going.
It will be so.
Welcome to Temple of the Wise Sage. Just remember, Vala, they were fools. You've done good work as a vigilante for the common folk.
They were innocent fools trying to help someone they thought was being taken advantage of.
Well, no, they saw you full-blown werewolf and they ran in like idiots.
I've been that idiot before. They were innocent, trying to help. And I murdered one of them. I almost murdered you, from the looks of it.
I look at
Thank
the
God
bite.
you didn't turn.
I look at the bite. I kind of shrug at it. I've had worse.
I'm going to like take her arm, and cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level
Okay. The
to try to heal
scar-
it.
The scab and everything kind of falls off, and there's basically no scar.
Well, thanks. I mean, I've had worse. You're not the first were creature to bite me. I'm hardy.
We should get going. I'm sure Preach and the Angel of Death will catch up to us.
You guys do know full moon lasts for 4 nights, so you've got 3 more nights of this remaining. But Temple of the Wise Sage is just over a day away. So with that, that is where we're going to end it for tonight. So if you showed up late, you want to watch the rest of this campaign, it's all on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/TrainerJody. Go ahead and check that out. Otherwise, feel free to follow me on Twitter. I always tweet when I put new videos out and stuff like that. And obviously, you can follow me here, subscribe to the Twitch channel if you want. Otherwise, that's all for me today, and I'll see you guys next time. All right? Bye bye.